You're listening to the Electronic Media Collective Podcast Network. Yeah, it's a mouthful. For more great shows, visit electronicmediacollective.com.
Screw it. We'll do it live. We'll do it live. Let's go.
Am I live?
We're live now. Okay. So
Jeez, third time's a charm, Adam.
it is. Look, I got a hard job. All right. I got a hard thing. I got a hard job.
You got a hard thing.
I got a hard thing and I have a hard job. Okay,
He
there's
said he
two
has a
different things.
hard thing, ladies
Hard
and
thing,
gentlemen.
hard job, all that good nonsense. We apologize. Third time's charm. I changed cables. It looks like we're good. There's no flickering going on. It's all good in the hood.
Okay.
Let's get into it, okay?
At
We
least
apologize.
this is the third time we've tried. We've had some technical issues.
Yes.
You said it's with the webcam?
I think it was with the cable, mostly. The
Oh.
cable that I use. I switched cables that are going to my computer, so this seems good. It's crisp. There's no flickering going on. We're good. I'm going to throw that fucking cable. I threw that cable in my room. That's just going in the garbage. It's
If
done
only
for.
we had some hunky IT man who could troubleshoot our problems, our technical issues.
I think I fixed our problem, sir.
Oh,
I think I
okay.
fixed it. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that camera. Look at that stream. It's never
Look
looked
at
that
that dog.
clear.
Look at
It's
that
never
dog.
looked that clear. We look sexy as hell. We could see the dimples on our fucking
Okay.
cheeks.
You know, so
Let's
far so
go.
good.
Scott, we were talking about Lieutenant Dan, though. Okay, we were talking about Lieutenant Dan. Let's get into it.
Got no legs, Lieutenant Dan.
That's gonna be your favorite button for tonight.
I
It
don't
is
know.
absolutely.
I don't know.
gonna be.
I've pushed it a lot and no one knows.
So we
'cause-
briefly talked about Lieutenant Dan. To recap, if you're not aware of who Lieutenant Dan is, he was this gentleman who lives in Tampa, Florida, who rode out the hurricane
Well, I think he
in his
lives.
in his boat.
He lives wherever his boat floats.
He's like a modern day nomad. He just like goes wherever.
He's an unhoused person who lives in a old sailboat.
We talked about him a little bit last week.
We
He's
did,
he's a
we
guy
did.
who like everybody was telling him, the officials were coming to him, police were coming to him, like, hey, you need to get the F out of Dodge because shit's going down.
And we did mention
Milton's
this earlier.
coming.
We got to mention it again here. Our heart goes out to all the
Yes.
people in the southeastern United
They are
States
still suffering.
that are suffering lingering effects of multiple hurricanes that have hit.
Side note, for all you people out there who believe that if you accept FEMA's help, the government's going to take your property, don't believe that
That's
nonsense.
a thing.
Yeah, you didn't hear that? Trump.
Wait.
So because of Trump, I think it was Trump put out a rumor. Basically, if you accept FEMA help, they lay claim to your property, so you're not going to get your house
oh my
back.
God.
So there's a lot of people right now who are not accepting FEMA help because they think that if they accept FEMA's help, then they're going to lose their house.
That's not true.
It's
FEMA
not true at all.
is
It is
already
not.
funded by your money.
And I heard this, and I got to fact check this. I meant to do it before the show, but we were a little busy before the show. I heard that Laura Loomer, we haven't heard that name in a while because she
She
disappeared.
kind of
she
fell
backed
off the
off.
map.
So there was an X posting where she kind of like called out to militia to hunt FEMA people down there.
What?
Yeah. She basically pulled an there was an X posting where she basically called for militia, basically anybody who has a gun, hunt FEMA down there because they're taking property and they're doing shit.
Oh my
I gotta
God.
fact check that. I just heard about that, and then I did look up the posting, and there is a posting from what I understand, but I gotta delve deeper into that. But apparently, like that's the newest Laura Loomer news that we have.
Well, I don't want to get into that. Let's talk about Lieutenant Dan. So
Lieutenant
he
Dan.
became. We did briefly discuss this last week, but he became somewhat of a social media legend
Yes.
because he decided to ride out the Hurricane Milton, in his sailboat. He tethered down, he weighed anchor. He was staying in the Tampa Bay, which is right where the storm was headed. He was told to excuse me, he
You
was
alright?
told to get out by multiple authorities, and he refused.
Yes.
He did. He rode out the storm. He came out on the other side unscathed. So he became somewhat of a legend. Old Lieutenant Dan. He was all over TikTok, all over Twitter, all over YouTube. You name it. He was there.
He was like a mythological creature almost. He was like a modern day Achilles or Hercules, where it's like
I'd say the boat thing makes me think Odysseus, but
Odysseus.
yeah,
That would be
yeah,
better, yes.
yeah.
But he was like, I'm gonna ride this out. It doesn't matter at all. I'm gonna ride this out.
Well, you ain't got no legs, Lieutenant Dan.
They call him that because he has one leg and he lives on a boat. So it's kind of like the whole Forrest Gump thing. Okay, so why are we talking about him today, Adam?
So apparently, and I don't know the entire story of what went down. I basically just like got on TikTok. So he was made famous by a number of different streamers. One of them was named Aiden Ross, I believe is his name.
Aiden Ross. He's popular
And
content creator.
One of the things that he did was Aiden Ross like put together like a GoFundMe for Lieutenant Dan
Yeah.
to get him like
He's
some
a popular
help.
influencer, so he had a lot of.
He's more popular now than ever. But he put together like a GoFundMe for Lieutenant Dan to give him some money, and I guess he gave him $7,000 of the GoFundMe. And it took me a while to find the full story, but from what my understanding is, and this could change based on anything new news that's going to come out, but apparently Lieutenant Dan doesn't have like a legal driver's license, and to accept money from GoFundMe, you have to have like a legal driver's license. So right now, Aiden is the only one that can pull money from that, and you're like, okay, why does it matter? Why didn't you just take all the money out of there and like give it to Lieutenant Dan? Because they tax that money. So I guess the big controversy right now is Lieutenant Dan's pissed at Aiden because I guess they racked up like $30,000 for him, and I guess the issue is he's pissed at Aiden because he's not getting all his money, but Aiden is like, you don't have a legal driver's license because there's some issue with like his
you're an
identification.
unhoused person, right?
Well, not just that, but I guess there's like an issue with like his I don't know if there was like an old like crime that like made him not have a driver's license or whatever. Now, I don't know I don't know the entire reason why he doesn't have one, but he doesn't have a legal ID.
A lot of people don't have
so
driver's
he can't
license.
be taxed on that thing. So if Aiden gave him the full $30,000, Aiden would pay the taxes for that money. And he's like, I'm not gonna pay the taxes for you, dude. Like if you clear your driver's license shit up, like we're golden. We'll put it in your name, and then you'll get the money, and you'll have to pay the tax on the money, but you'll get the residuals. You'll get what's left over. And he's like not doing it, and he's just like pissed off. And he's like it went from Lieutenant Dan was like high on the horse, we're rooting for Lieutenant Dan, I hope he survives, to this dude's a scumbag. And he's kind of a piece of shit, and he will not fix whatever issue is with his driver's license. And he basically what it comes down to is he wants his money, and he expects Aiden to pay the taxes for the money. When Aiden was like using his platform to try to like garner him some like charity, essentially.
Did Lieutenant Dan ask for Aiden or anybody to give him financial help?
I don't know.
Or is this something Aiden just decided to do on his own? Let me just tell you, there's content creators, there's influence out there.
I want to say this. Aiden doesn't want to take the money for himself. If anything, if Lieutenant Dan doesn't want to take the money, he wants to refund the money. He doesn't want to claim it for himself. He's made many posts where he's like, if he's not going to claim it, like, I want to just refund the money. The problem is because he gave Lieutenant Dan $7,000 of the money, he can't refund all of it. So that $7,000 would come out of his bank account essentially to refund everything. Like, he was trying to do a nice thing. Like, the internet has rallied around Aiden over Lieutenant Dan because apparently he's a piece of shit. But like, it's like, why should Aiden have to pay the taxes on that money when he's not willing to deal with his driver's license issue? I don't know if it's like I'm a nomad kind of thing. I don't want to
saying a driver's license.
It has to do with like photo ID.
Why doesn't he go get a state ID?
I think it's just general ID, but like the issue is his driver's license.
He doesn't have to have a driver's license.
A lot
of people in the country don't have driver's license.
Again, I don't have the full story. I don't know why he's not willing to do it. I don't know if it's a thing where he wants to remain off the grid kind of thing, where he's like being like, I don't want to get an ID because I want to stay off the grid kind of nonsense, and he's not willing to do it. I'm gonna dig deeper into it. I'm gonna look more into it, but I think it based on I've watched videos from Aiden and I've watched videos from Dan, and it seems mostly like Dan is not willing to do it. He sees it as that money's mine. I shouldn't have to go get an ID for any of this nonsense. I want to remain off the grid kind of shit.
I've never done a GoFundMe. I didn't know that you had to have it. You're trying to say that you have to have a driver's license?
I think it's like an identification kind of thing.
Okay, well then that's different than a driver's license.
But the reason why is because the only identification he has would be a driver's license, and there's an issue with his license apparently.
Well, why can't you get a state ID?
Because I think again, I'm gonna look more into it, but I think it's a thing where he just wants to remain off grid. He doesn't want to do it, is what it is.
That's his prerogative.
That's the point. That's why the internet is taking Aiden's side. That's why
I don't know if I'm on Aiden's side for this.
Why?
He never asked for the money. Aiden is the one who set up this GoFundMe
for him.
But he never asked for it.
But he couldn't. I guess you have to have an ID.
But he doesn't
want
to have an ID.
No, what I'm saying is, like, I guess you have to have an ID to set up the GoFundMe. You have to have something, and he didn't have it. So Aiden, being charitable, said, "I'm going to set this up for you."
But did Lieutenant Dan say to Aiden, "Please set up this GoFundMe for me. Use your ID"? I don't. From what I'm understanding, no.
Again,
that's not the case.
I'm gonna deep dive more into this because I didn't have a chance to as much this past week because I was busy. But from what I understand, he was trying to do a nice thing for him, and there was maybe some miscommunication between both parties as to what entailed the GoFundMe itself.
Right.
And so, from what I understand, what happened is some money was going to the GoFundMe. He gave $7,000 to Lieutenant Dan out of the GoFundMe, and then more came out. But he has to pay like taxes on the rest of the amount.
I get that. I get that.
And Aiden doesn't feel like he needs to pay the rest of the taxes. He's
take the taxes out of the 30
I'm sorry.
grand.
I'm sorry. What it is right now Lieutenant Dan wants all the money. The money is in Aiden's name on the GoFundMe. He's trying to transfer the GoFundMe directly to Lieutenant Dan so he can get the money, but you can't transfer it to him without an ID. And Lieutenant Dan
I get that, Adam. You're repeating yourself.
Yeah,
I understand that part. My point is, Lieutenant Dan is a unique soul. He lives in a fucking boat, and he just goes wherever. Of course, he's not going to have, as you say, a driver's license. It would be easier to get a certified state ID. I work with a lot of individuals in my job. None of them have driver's license, but they have state IDs.
Yeah.
That should. Are you telling me that doesn't work?
I think part of the issue is Lieutenant Dan is pissed off because he's not going to get the full amount. He wants to get the full 30,000.
He strikes me as someone who doesn't and never will and hasn't and refuses to pay taxes. But there's a lot of people who are like that. He's probably an anti-taxation person.
From the videos I saw, because they've had altercations back and forth.
Who's they?
Aiden and Lieutenant Dan. There've been like videos that they've posted where like they're directly talking to each other. From the altercations, again, I'm gonna deep dive into it this week so I can clarify this next week.
Okay.
But from the altercations, what I think is Lieutenant Dan is mad that he's not getting the full 30,000.
Ross is a popular YouTuber, he's a streamer. Let me finish. He is a content creator. He's an influencer. He's not Mr. Beast.
No.
He doesn't have those kind of numbers. Since this shit's been going down with Lieutenant Dan, his numbers have skyrocketed. Yeah. He is benefiting off of the whole drama with Lieutenant Dan, too. I say fuck Aiden. I
No,
do.
because
I
no,
do.
no,
I
because-
do.
because-
he is also benefiting off this
Because
situation.
I think the major issue is Lieutenant Dan is mad that he has to pay taxes.
But he never asked for this money. Aiden is the one who took this and said, "I'm going to raise money for you." And now he's saying, "Oh, I can't raise money for you."
no,
No, that's bullshit.
no. What I think it is.
Lieutenant Dan never asked for a dime.
What I think it is was he raised money for him, and then he's like, I'm gonna give you this money, but Lieutenant Dan is mad that he's not getting the full amount that he has to pay taxes. He thinks Aiden should pay the taxes for him, is what it is. That's what it is. From my initial understanding, that's what it is. He thinks he should get the full amount, and he shouldn't have to pay any tax.
Have
on
you
it.
heard the latest though? There's new news that
He got arrested. Yeah,
he got arrested. So actually, he didn't. He had
everything.
apparently Lieutenant Dan had warrants out.
Everything that we've heard of Lieutenant Dan after the hurricane is that he's a massive piece of shit. Like
He has a
he's
daughter
Not, he's
who
not
he
a
just-
good person. Like her daughter. Like I heard about his daughter.
Uh-huh.
His daughter came out and said, "Yeah, he's a fucking piece of shit. He's a terrible person. He's not a good man."
He just is a terrible father. Has nothing to do with his daughter.
Yeah.
But apparently he had outstanding warrants from some time ago, and since Aiden and some other influencers too, but mostly Aiden had brought Lieutenant Dan into the forefront and made him popular, then the police were like, "Oh, there's that guy we've been looking for
Yeah.
a long time." So they went and arrested him. He's in He's in Pinellas County lockup right now. His boat, aka house, has been impounded. So people who are pilgrimaging to the Tampa Bay to see Lieutenant Dan are now going to where he's been,
Yeah.
and he's not there, and his boat's not there because he's in jail right now. So I think this whole shit with Aiden and the money are the least of his concerns right
Oh,
now
100%
because
now,
he's
yeah.
behind bars. But Aiden's a piece of shit too in this
I don't
situation.
think he's a piece of shit. I don't think he
really
is.
do.
I don't
I
think he
think
is.
there's not a really good. I'm not saying Lieutenant Dan's a good person, but I'm not saying that Aiden is either.
But he's not Bennett. He's not like trying to profit off it by like
But he
trying to claim the
is.
money. Like,
Whether he tried or not is irrelevant. He is benefiting financially
Again.
and socially off of this situation.
Again, I'm like 75% sure that the issue is he wanted Aiden to pay the taxes
well,
on
that's
the
nonsense.
30,000.
He's a low intelligence person. He probably doesn't understand this. Aiden is almost like taking advantage of somebody who doesn't know better in this situation.
How? He gave him money. He just gave him money. First of all, Lieutenant
Lieutenant Dan never asked for that money. Aiden took it upon himself to, I'm going to raise money, but I'm going to live stream all of me doing good things so people think good of me. No, fuck that. If you want to do something nice for somebody, do it behind closed
for
doors.
all you know, behind the scenes, it's equally possible behind the scenes that either he said, I'm just going to do this on my own volition, or it's equally possible that he said, hey, Lieutenant Dan, we can raise you money based off this popularity because it's going viral. Do you want to do this? He could have agreed to it. We don't know. It's equally it's
But
a
that's
it's
still
a 50 it's a 50-50. We don't know. It's a 50-50 split right now because we do not know. All right?
Everything was fine with Lieutenant Dan. He was living his modest lifestyle the way he wanted to live. Somebody else came into the picture and shook things up. Now he's in jail because of Aiden and his poor life choices. But would he have been caught by the police had this not happened? Probably not.
Is he a criminal or not?
I'm sure he's a criminal.
Well, then therefore Aiden's doing a service to the country.
We have a criminal running for president of the United States, Adam.
Exactly.
It is not a one-size-fits-all.
Exactly. So
justice
what you're
system.
saying is Dan is Lieutenant Dan is equivalent to Trump. Aiden must be equivalent to whoever's prosecuting Trump because he caught him.
That was not his goal. He's the one benefiting from it.
Doesn't matter
Are
if
you
it's
saying
goal.
Letitia
Doesn't matter.
James is benefiting from her prosecuting Trump?
Would you be saying the same thing? Hypothetical, pure hypothetical. Would you be saying the same thing about Aiden if it turned out Lieutenant Dan was wanted for like child molestation?
Is he?
Is he? That's the question. But like, if it came out that he was, you'd be like, I guess it's a really fucking good thing that Aiden came out and did all this stuff because guess what? It caught this pedophile.
Lieutenant Dan was at both Diddy's Freak Offs and Epstein Island.
He's a slimy dude.
He was hanging out with Trump.
Oh,
you
you
ain't
beat
got
me
no
to
legs,
it.
Lieutenant Dan.
Beat me to it.
Oh, watch this space because you said you have some homework to do.
I am.
On this.
I'm gonna do some
Next
homework.
week.
I've deep dove a little bit into it, but I'm gonna deep dive hardcore this next week. I had a busy week,
Okay.
and so I'm gonna deep dive further into the story, and I'm gonna get the facts. I'm gonna figure out exactly what went down and what the controversy is specifically.
Tune in next week to For Your Distraction. We're gonna find out more about Lieutenant Dan. You can find us on Facebook. Search for Your Distraction on there. We go live on Facebook
when it works.
You have some news coming up, huh? Is this our last week on SoundCloud?
I was going to bring that up. So for all you SoundCloud listeners, this will be the last episode. Podbean is live. I've uploaded everything on Podbean. All the past episodes are right now on Podbean. I'm going to switch everything over. If you're listening to on Google Play and Spotify, this is definitely going to be up there. If you're going to miss the next episode, I'm doing some experimenting. I'm going to make sure that everything ports over there correctly to Spotify and all our other applications that we have out there. But this will be the last SoundCloud. Tomorrow I'm canceling our subscription, and it's going to end. It's going to be
End
over.
of an era.
End of an era. We're entering the Podbean
You know what?
era.
You know what? SoundCloud has been good to us.
They have been.
They have been.
They just got too fucking. They got too
Which
greedy. They got
it's-
too
it's-
greedy.
They got to do what they got to do. We got to do what we got to do. I have nothing but respect for SoundCloud and all their like college white rappers that they're making hit the scene. Listen, love you guys. Love your stuff. Keep making that dough.
So Podbean
Keep
does
working
have
the
its
game.
own app, by the way, for you folks out there listening. They do have their own app as well. If you want to download the Podbean app, you can search For Distraction, Podbean/For Distraction. That should be the URL for it. I'll double check that, but I'm going to put the link for the Podbean and all the future descriptions. So it should be in the last episode, I think. It might be. I don't know.
The thing about the last episode is this episode going to be on our YouTube channel?
This episode will.
What happened to the last episode?
I'm gonna try to make some edits to put the last episode up there on there, but yeah, we got content
That's
stricken.
my B.
Yeah.
No, it's kind of your B too. It's kind of both of our Bs. So I had the idea.
You know what it is? It's YouTube's B.
I wanted to play a game involving music last
It was
week,
a
and
great
it was
game.
fun. We had a good
It's
time.
up on SoundCloud.
And you had told me that it would be okay because we were actually discussing the music and critiquing the music.
I didn't say it'd be okay on YouTube. I said it would be okay.
You said we wouldn't get sued.
Yes, those are the words I used.
You ain't got no legs, Lieutenant Dan.
We ain't got no leg to stand on right now. So our last episode's kind of in limbo, and it's too bad because it was a good episode.
The audio is available. 100%. The audio is available. That has not gone down. That's on SoundCloud. That's on Spotify.
Podbean?
I haven't. It's on Podbean now. I haven't got an email from. We got an email from Spotify before when we used to do the. You remember we did the intervals where you like take little breaks and stuff like that, and I put like that music on there and stuff. I haven't got an email from Spotify yet, so it should still be up there. So it's just the video portions, because like Facebook, I got notification from Facebook where they like muted. They didn't take the episode down. They just muted portions. I imagine the music portion. So the audio's still up there. I may or may not make. It depends on how lazy I am, honestly. I may or may not make some edits for the video
In the future,
portion.
we should just steer clear of music, just out of
No,
laziness.
because like YouTube has a music library, their own music library that they say that we are permitted to use. I guess it's just limited from what I've read. So there is music we can use. You just got to use the YouTube library.
That's
to
how
find it.
TikTok is. TikTok's music library is very limited,
Yes.
and it used to be a lot better, and then a whole bunch of music went
YouTube
away.
is more limited than TikTok from what
And
I've
then,
heard.
well, some have come back to TikTok, but it's still not where it needs to be. I'm still missing some stuff.
No.
Anyway, what's up? Where are we moving on to? What's the next topic?
So we're moving on from Lieutenant Dan to
You ain't got no legs, Lieutenant Dan.
Lieutenant Dan. So did you hear about how Trump left some supporters stranded in the desert? Hear about that shit?
Yeah.
So from what I understand, a lot of people are speculating that Trump, pure speculation, we don't know if this is true itself, but people are thinking that Trump was a little pissed off about the fact that everybody was saying like this past couple months, everyone's saying like people are just leaving Trump rallies.
They
They're
are. They
Yeah,
are.
they are, and they
I've
are.
seen the videos. Yes.
So I think that what people are thinking that this happened was not the most recent, but like 1 or 2 ago. He was in like what,
It was
California?
in Coachella, California.
Yeah, and he decided
Home
to
of
have
the
a
Coachella
rally.
Music Festival.
Yeah, he decided to have a rally.
His rally was where the Coachella Music Festival takes place, which, if you guys have never been to Coachella, it
Isn't
is
it-
in the middle of a desert.
Yeah,
Yes, there's desert in California. Adam, you were born in California.
I was. Yes.
So there is a desert in California.
Yes.
And Coachella is a town. They have a really big music festival, a lot of fun. And you have to park your car and be bussed into the middle of this desert where there's an amphitheater, and that's where everything takes place.
So that's what Trump did. He
Yeah.
decided for his latest rally that he would. I don't know if people knew this ahead of time. Honestly, I don't know if that was like a last minute change, but like he bussed his rally people.
That's pretty much the only way to get to
out
this.
there.
Yes.
And then when he bussed them out there, Trump pieced off and left his crowd stranded till
With
like
no buses?
nighttime. Like, I don't know if it was like delayed buses or if there just were no transportation, but there were people that were like streaming at like when it got dark. Like it was pitch black and people were streaming like, we're stranded. Like, what are we gonna do? We're in the desert.
I had heard, I don't know how true this is because I was not there, but I had heard there was something like 25 buses that were busing people from the parking lot to the stage where the rally was being held.
Yeah.
When the rally was over, I had heard there were 2 buses to bring people back.
Yeah.
I don't know if 25 buses busing you there and 2 busing you back. There was hundreds, maybe even
there's a
1,000
logistic
people
issue there. You know, there's some logistics going on that don't match up. You know.
There really wasn't that many people at the rally. Eek. There might have been 1,000 people,
Yeah.
but still, if you've ever been in a bus before,
It's like what, 50 people?
50 people
Yeah.
tops. That's standing room only.
Yeah.
2 buses.
There were people that were streaming that were like, "Are we gonna have to walk? We're gonna have
Yes.
to walk in the desert to get home? Like, what's going on?"
It was like a very far walk. It
And
was like a
they're-
2.5 hour walk.
And they're all still gonna vote for him. They're all still gonna vote for him.
Why is he doing a rally in California of all places? He has no chance of winning California.
I don't know.
What was the reason for that in the first place?
I don't know.
I don't
I have
understand.
zero clue.
I have some news.
All right, what's your news?
Since we're talking about this, I did a thing. I should probably post some pictures to the
That would be
to the For Your Distraction Facebook page
It'd be
about this.
novel of us if we did that. Yeah.
Adam, I did a thing. It was so we recorded last week on Saturday,
Yes.
and then on that Monday, like 2 days later, I went to a Kamala Harris rally.
You went to a rally.
I did.
You did
In-
text me. You were like, "Guess where I am
You're-
now."
I said you're never gonna guess where I'm at.
Yeah.
And what was the next? I sent you a picture.
Yeah. It was you sitting in the audience looking at a stage with an American flag, and you were like, I'm an Erie at a Kamala rally."
I went to Erie, Pennsylvania. For those of you who everybody knows this, if you're paying attention, Pennsylvania is a very, very, very important swing state. I think the consensus is from both parties, whoever wins Pennsylvania will win the election. That's
Pretty
a
much.
theory, yeah. There's very, very few paths that either Harris or Trump have to victory without Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
So Pennsylvania is like mega, mega important. There is one bellwether county here in Pennsylvania, Erie County, up in the northwest part of Pennsylvania on the Great Lakes of Lake Erie. It's a big city. Erie proper is a big city. It's not as big as Philadelphia or Pittsburgh, but let's face it. Everybody knows that Philadelphia and Pittsburgh are going to go blue.
Yes.
Harris is going to win
Yes.
those 2 cities
100%.
going away. The rest, I think Bill Maher, it was Bill Maher who said Pennsylvania is in the east Philadelphia and in the west Pittsburgh and in the middle is Alabama. He's not
much,
wrong.
Yeah.
Trump is going to win.
They call it Pennsyltucky for
yes,
a reason.
Pennsyltucky.
Yes.
Trump is going to win the middle of Pennsylvania
Yeah.
easily. And Harris is going to win the two huge cities easily. Erie is a bellwether county.
It's up in the
Sometimes it goes red, sometimes it goes blue. Whoever wins Erie wins Pennsylvania. Whoever wins Pennsylvania wins the election. So by default, Erie is so vitally important. You went to college in Erie for a while.
for a year and a half. Yeah,
Yeah.
I went to Edinburgh.
So you're
It was
familiar.
Edinburgh, so it's on the border of Erie. Yeah, it's like right
It's
outside.
still Erie County,
Yeah,
but it's not Erie, the city of Erie. But,
I tell you, Edinburgh. From my time there, very liberal.
well, colleges are.
Yes.
And there's like, when I was, so I went to this rally. I wasn't going to go. I ended up getting off work early, and it was like a last minute decision. I decided to go up and go to the rally. Bro, I've never seen anything like it.
Scott's wife's texting him like, "Where you at? We gotta feed
I
the kids."
told her, I
Gotta feed the
told her I
kids.
was going.
I'm going to the Harris rally.
I did. I went.
I'm going.
I waited 2.5 hours in a line
I don't have that patience.
to get
I do
in
not have that
to
kind of
get into the
patience.
arena. It was in a
That's nuts.
It was in a big arena. The arena held 10,000 people, so a good size hockey arena. And
Hawk 2 Arena.
there was like 13,000 people. People had to be turned away. It was bonkers. The line wrapped like through like around city blocks. I've never witnessed anything like. I've been to political rallies, but I've never been to a political rally for the presidential election.
So
that
it went nuts.
Kamala Harris was there on stage, talking, like cheering, chanting. It was everything you could imagine. We were asses to elbows packed into this arena. I don't know how she loses.
That was your moment, sir. That was your moment to be like, "Hey, we're with the For Distraction, network. Why don't you come on?
Bro,
come.
I was in the fucking nosebleeds. Here's the if you're listening to the podcast, I apologize, but the stage is here. She's facing the other way. I'm staring at the back of her the whole time. Way, 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 way up. Like, there was no way. I was not getting anywhere remotely close to ask a question. I tried to live stream like a Facebook Live from our For Distraction. I had no service. I couldn't do it. But it was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it. I was in awe of the.
At one point, you texted me like, "Am I in a cult?"
I did
Like,
say
you did text me that.
I keep calling them the MAGA cult, and here I am. I'm like, wait, are we the cult? It was like the Simpsons meme
Yeah.
with Skinner,
Yeah.
the Principal Skinner. Are the kids the problem here? Am I the problem? No. It must be. It was me. I was like, wait a minute. Am I in the cult? Am I? No, it's not me. It's them.
All the MAGA heads hate listening are like, "Yes,
Um,
you are in the cult."
I mean, it was wild. It was entertaining. It was fun.
Scott,
I'll
we have
probably
like
never do it again.
we have like 2 weeks before the election, roughly like 2.5 weeks before the election is happening. We have time, sir. I'm not going to name names. You have a contact in your phone that we can have on the show that we could talk to.
Adam, I don't want to. He's talking about Governor Josh Shapiro,
I was
the
going to name
governor of
names.
Pennsylvania. No, I will, because he's. Listen,
He's in your phone, sir.
when I've seen the TikTok videos of people just walking on the street and somebody runs up to them with a microphone and they're like, "Quick, who's the most famous person in your phone?" Adam, who's the most famous person in your phone?
At this point, probably you. Honestly.
That's bad.
Yeah.
That's bad.
It's
I'm
probably-
not.
it's
I'm not
probably
very
you.
famous.
But you're
If somebody
you got
asked
you got a
me-
TikTok and you got followers, so it's probably you.
If somebody asked me who's the most famous person in your phone, I would say Governor Josh Shapiro of Pennsylvania. I have met him on two separate occasions, hung out with him. He's a really good dude. He was on the short list for VP. Didn't make the cut. Shout out to Governor Tim Walz. But I do have his phone number in my phone. And you, and not only you,
You're
like
you're holding the show back, dude. You're holding the show back.
I don't want it.
I've done so much for this show. You're holding it back, dude. You're holding it back. You got one card to play. It's your, not to use this word, but it's your trump. It's your trump card. It's your trump card.
He's my trump card. He's literally the governor of our state. He's like governing.
Yeah. So but he's always on social media.
He's campaigning for Kamala Harris right now. Yes.
We have an audience in India, sir. So
shout out to India. Represent. We always talk about, we've got listeners from Kansas. We've got listeners
the YouTube
from California.
analytics have told me we have an audience in India. It's a small audience, but we appreciate you 100%. We love you.
India.
I love India. Never been, always wanted to.
My stepfather lived in India.
You got elephants over there. My favorite animal. Best animal. Elephant.
Asian elephants.
Elephants are the best. I love them.
Elephants.
We were doing that earlier.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm telling you, play the trump card. What do you got to lose? What do you have to lose? What do you have to lose? Is what I got to ask.
He won't answer. He won't respond.
So then it's like nothing ventured, nothing gained. You didn't gain anything, but you didn't lose anything. Telling you, dude. Telling you, he would love it. He'd have a ball with us.
He's a good dude.
I think he'd have a ball with us.
Yeah.
Fucking, it boosts the numbers too.
I went to this rally. I just, the enthusiasm was off the charts.
That's what I heard.
We weren't left in the middle of the desert with no ride, so I think things.
That's a big plus right there.
Yeah,
that's a big plus.
So I was thinking about it, man.
What?
Since we're talking about the election, there's one thing I don't want to do.
We are not going back.
I don't want to go back.
That's a
either.
sound clip of me at the rally. Like this.
We are not going back.
If you listen closely, you can probably hear my voice repeating it. Because we're not going back. We're not.
No.
I refuse to go back. But I was thinking about it. Oh, having a woman president would be kind of cool. I think it would be cool. My children, I have 2 daughters. I want them to see a woman president. And I've reached a point where I'm thinking about how terrible Donald Trump is. If you go back to 2016, Hillary Clinton, she wasn't extremely popular, but she was very qualified for the job.
Yes.
She had been first lady, she had been a senator in New York, and she had been secretary of state. I don't know of any candidate for president that had as much experience that wasn't like running for re-election, already president. And she lost that election to one of the worst candidates with zero experience that I can think of. Okay? Fast forward to now. Kamala Harris was Attorney General of California, the largest state in the union. She was a senator in California for multiple terms. She's currently vice president. So qualified. If she loses to Donald Trump, you heard it here first. We will never, ever have a female president.
So I think a lot of the hate for Hillary Clinton was, there was a lot of she's too arrogant, she's too like this and that. There was a lot of that.
She didn't run a great campaign.
She did not run a great campaign, but like Harris is also like, you would call Hillary Clinton's like confidence arrogance. Harris's confidence is sass. She's a sassy woman.
You're right.
She's
You're
sarcastic
right.
and sassy.
We are not going back.
She wasn't like arrogant about it. Like, and also it helps that she's younger. So like she was definitely, it wasn't like the old white woman sass. It was like
younger black woman.
It was like
sass.
younger, like ethnic sass that is like, it kind of fits with what's going on. She's like it kind of works a little bit more for her in her favor.
You know what? I've heard a lot of this crap on the internet.
Also, at the time, Trump was an unknown when Hillary ran, so there was that too.
Who didn't know about Donald Trump?
Not to the extent we know now.
Oh my God! Everybody knew about Donald
yes,
Trump.
but not.
He was a political outsider.
Remember what you said when he was elected. You said, you know what? I'm not happy he was elected, but I hope he does a good thing. If he's elected now, are you going to say the same thing?
No, because I know he's got
Exactly.
a
You
track record.
know, he was more unknown then than he was now. That's my point.
As president.
Yes,
as
that's what
president.
I'm saying. Yeah,
But we knew who he was as a person. He
Yeah.
sucked. You could be the shittiest person on the planet, which is Donald
but
Trump.
we didn't know what he was going to
And
do.
maybe you respect the office enough that you run different than how you live.
He's the Elon Musk of hotels.
I had zero to little faith in Donald Trump, but I gave him a chance.
Yeah. You
I
wouldn't do
get-
that. Would you do that now?
He had his chance and he blew it.
Yeah. So it's different now. It's different now.
It's different now.
Yeah.
Here's something I keep seeing on the internet. Trump is the one who started this, and a lot of his cult members are following suit, where they say stuff like, Kamala Harris, when she's speaking to an ethnic audience, she fakes a black accent. And she starts talking ghetto, and
I've seen
you seen that?
I've seen comments on like TikTok videos where they like mock her and then they put in parentheses Jamaican accent. I've seen that
Yeah.
a little bit too. Very insensitive.
here's the thing with that. Here's the thing. I think they've got it backwards. She is a black woman. She's mixed. She's half black, half Indian.
Yes.
I think that's her normally. I think when she's talking on the regular, she puts on the white accent and she's faking it to sound
Yeah.
like
probably
different.
Yeah. Probably yeah.
But they think it's the other way around. They think she's too hoity-toity and upper class,
Yeah.
you know, to say, you know what I mean, to say
Yeah,
that.
I know what you
Like,
mean. Yeah. I know
yeah.
what you mean. Yeah.
They think that that's how she is normally. So when she stoops down to, how do I say this without being insensitive? That's what I'm struggling with. When this is their words, not mine. How about that?
When
This
she
is their words.
stoops down to some like
When she tries to slum it down and act all black and, you know, she's just putting on a show for the. No, that's her. She's acting up
be honest.
when she talks to
Be
white
honest.
folk.
Be honest, there are people in your life that are different ethnicities or maybe you know them from a different period in your life or you maybe put on a different accent towards what you might talk with, like me, for example. Like there are people in my life where I might get a little more like sarcastic or get a little more abbreviated that I would not maybe talk with you, essentially. Like they're definitely like
I make
people-
fun of my wife. She's got to, like, when she's just talking to me, it's just like her regular voice. But then if her phone rings and it's an important phone call, her phone voice is like, hello. Like it's a different voice.
Or
when
it's
she's
like
talking.
Shaquanda on the other, like, "Hey, girl, what's up?" A little bit of racism for you.
Shaquanda. Wow,
That's a little bit of racism for
we're
you.
being real racist.
No, but
today.
like you know what I mean. There are people like you said with your wife. There are people in your life where you may like the way I talk to you is not the way I talk to people on the phone whenever I'm working. It's a very different voice, 100%.
Mhm.
Like it's a very different like.
Do you hate
inflection.
your own voice when you listen to it?
You know what? Now that we've done like the headphone stuff, not so much. Not so much.
You know what? I used to hate the sound of my own voice because when you hear yourself talk, you sound different to yourself.
Yes.
That other people hear you. Since we've done this podcast and I've gone back and like rewatched our podcasts, I've grown accustomed to my voice.
So I've heard there's like a scientific explanation for that, where it's like whenever you are talking and like not wearing headphones or
Right,
talking to a
right,
microphone,
right.
when you're just like normally talking, because the way that sound travels, you hear your own voice in your own head, versus where if you're like listening to like on the headphones, you're hearing the exterior what everybody else hears. So the reason why you hate your own voice is because it's not what you hear.
I
Like,
mean,
everybody else hears a different inflection or a different volume of your voice than what you hear because of
that's
the
what
way
it is. Yes,
that sound travels inside your head.
I've heard that too.
Like if you just hum, like you hear that in your head. You don't hear that like it doesn't go out of your head and your ears pick it up. You hear that inside your own head because eardrums and shit like that are inside your head. That's the way it works. So it's the same thing with voice. It's the reason why like a lot of people talk, and then when they hear their own voice like recorded back, they're like, "Oh, I hate that." It's because you're not used to it. That's why.
You have a good voice. I don't think I do. I think your voice is a better radio voice.
I was told years ago I got a voice for radio. My voice is like.
I've told you have a face for radio, but that's neither here nor there. No, you have a deep voice. My voice is higher than yours. You know what I mean?
I know what you mean. Yeah.
You have like the
I'm down a baritone. Yes.
You are deep. You have a deeper voice than I
Yeah.
do, but you're not like Barry White deep. You know.
Oh, no.
You like. Oh. But you do have.
Yeah, I do. I
do have a good deep voice.
You because
I'm jealous of your voice.
Because my voice, but like you have a more like yours is higher, but it's louder. Mine is not
I'm
as
louder.
loud.
I'm louder.
Mine is
yeah,
not as
yeah.
loud as you. So like you gotta, you know what? It's really good for you ladies though. You gotta get real close to me to hear what I'm saying. Though, you gotta get in
You
close.
could put out one of those. What are they called? AMSR.
ASMRs.
You could do one of those.
I showed you.
You
that.
have the voice.
I showed you what that is.
Yeah.
You learned.
It's a
you
thing.
learned. It's a thing.
It's apparently a big thing.
It's a massive thing.
People are weird. We don't kink shame on the show.
Never.
But that's weird.
Never.
It's weird.
Scott.
I sound like Joe Biden. Hey, hurts no one, helps the economy.
Let's make a switch.
We are not going back.
We're not.
We're not going back. We're gonna make a switch, Scott. Let's switch it up. We're gonna do some different stuff. I got 2 segments I'm gonna do. One's a game. One we're gonna talk about stuff. What's coming up in this month?
No music
Scott?
on this game, right?
No music. There's gonna be photos. No music. No sound. 100%. But we're gonna do the game yet. We're gonna do something else. What's coming up this month, Scott? What's the month of October known for?
Halloween.
Halloween.
See what you did there? That's great. I couldn't do that.
That's like you know what that is? Oh, that's like you know like throat singing that monks do.
Oh yeah. You had a phase where you were listening to like Tibetan throat singing.
Dude, I still listen to that.
Oh,
100%.
he's still in that
100%.
phase.
It's great. It's fucking great stuff. The Who, THE
Not
space
the Who, but
HU,
the Who. Yeah.
the Hue. It's fucking great. Listen to that. But we're gonna talk about Halloween stuff. So what's coming up at Halloween? Typical things, costumes.
Oh.
What are the big 2024 costumes, Scott? We're going to talk about that. According to Time Magazine, I got a Time Magazine
Okay.
article. I'm going to read off this, and we're going to show it off. I got pictures also we're going to show. So
Oh,
for
I love
you,
this.
For
Love
you
this.
Video watchers, we're going to
Yeah,
go into
check
this.
out our YouTube For Your Distraction, or we go live on Facebook. Search for Your Distraction on
100%.
Facebook, like
Oh,
our
yes.
page. Because if you listen to us on wherever you get your podcast, that's great. But you don't get to see this bonus content.
the
you know,
beautifulness that we're going to
Yeah,
show,
yeah,
the
so-
amazingness of the Halloween costumes.
all right, let's see
So
this.
according to Time Magazine, these are the top 10 2024 Halloween costumes.
I love this. I love what you're
Now,
doing here.
I went through this list. I got pictures for it. Some of these are going to be adult oriented. Some of these will probably be like maybe some like kids might dress up as these. But these are apparently the top 10, and I want to see if you agree with what their top 10 are. So we've got number 1, numero
Are you
uno.
going top to bottom?
I'm going from their order. They're going
Okay.
from 1 to 10. So I'm going to go from their 1 to
Okay.
10 is when. So
So
they're
this
number
is the
1.
most popular?
No, I don't think. I think it's just a list they made. I
Okay,
don't know if
okay.
it's most. I think it's just they made a list.
Let's call this 10 then. Let's go 10 to 9.
How about you don't fuck up my shit
All
and
right.
just my order,
Whatever.
please and thank you.
You know
This
me.
is the first
You
one
know
on
me
their
and my
list.
lists.
I know you're in list. You're
I'm a list guy.
You're a list Hitler basically. List Nazi.
Listler.
List Na-
That's the name of the show. List.
Hold on.
Put
We got-
that in your notes. It's Listler.
Hold on.
That's it. That's it. Sometimes the name just comes to us.
List-
It just Listler. You said I'm a list Hitler, and I said Listler.
I meant list Nazi is what I meant,
No, Listler.
but it worked.
Listler. Okay.
List- I'm gonna Google that, and it's gonna come up with nothing. Okay,
Okay.
so
all right, cool.
So here
Let's do
is the reset itself. So here is the top 10 from according to Time Magazine or Time.com. Time.com. Number 1 is and these are also very pop culture oriented. This is Shrunken Bobhead from, can you guess?
Beetlejuice.
Yep, Beetlejuice. That's this one right here.
Yeah, I haven't seen it yet. I remember him from the first Beetlejuice movie.
Yeah.
Kind of just he's wearing a different suit in this.
Yeah, this must be from the new movie.
You haven't seen the new one yet?
I have not seen.
I
we
was
talked
this
about
close
it.
to going today.
Dude, we talked about it. We got to go together.
I almost went today with my family because
it's still out.
My
right?
wife and my kids want to see it. Oh, it'll be out past Halloween. Yeah, for
Good,
sure.
good. We gotta see it. I'm gonna watch
I
it.
like that.
There
I
is
like
one
that
costume that is on this that might be a spoiler, a little spoiler for Beetlejuice. But that's like
Beetlejuice himself has to be on here, right?
we'll see. We'll see. So that's that one. Numero uno or numero dos. Number 2, Ray Gun. Ray Gun from the
no
Olympics.
Shit.
That
way.
That is Time.com's number 2.
That's an incredible costume.
That is Ray Gun's number 2. Ray Gun, for those of you who don't know, is Ray Gun from the Olympics.
Yeah.
That did that terrible breakdancing.
Breakdancing was an Olympic sport this year, and she was an Olympic athlete from Australia, I believe.
Yeah.
And wow.
Yes.
She was
that is
atrocious.
Time.com's numero 2. Now this next one, I have 2 photos for this one because one is to because I don't know who this is. You don't know who this is, so we got to give the original plus the costume. This is Catnap. This is from a video game. It is read the description. A royal purple cat who is a character from Poppy Playtime, which I have heard of, the indie horror video game. And so this is the character right here. That is the character in the video game, and this is the costume that I found. Fucking lame as shit.
That's dumb.
That's fucking lame. All right, so this next one, this is the Beetlejuice spoiler.
Uh-oh.
So, sorry, not sorry. It's been like how many weeks since this movie been out?
Sorry, I didn't want to see the spoilers.
It's not a visual. It's you're gonna learn about this character from Beetlejuice that we've never heard of before. This is Dolores. This is Beetlejuice's ex-wife. That's this character. Apparently, is in the movie. That is
I saw her in the trailer. I knew.
Did
this.
you see her? I've never seen her before.
He mentioned when he was in the first movie when he was marrying Lydia. He said something about his.
Yeah, it was
he was married before.
But you didn't know if that was jokey or if it was real. So this is a character, I guess, in the movie, and this is like just a regular ass gothy kind of character, like a corset kind of thing.
Yeah.
So it's not.
What's the costume look like?
I I only have costume picks for things that are out there.
Okay.
And that's look, if you look at Dolores, that's like a standard corset, black corset. There ain't much to it. It's like you put on some pale makeup, put a scar on your right eye, and put a corset.
I feel like I've seen some emo chicks wear that on a Wednesday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you've probably seen that on the Wednesday TV show, I imagine.
I was just meaning the day of the week. But yeah, that too.
So the next one is their number 5, Pomni. And this character is the protagonist of, quote, of Glitch Productions' indie animated web series, The Amazing Digital Circus.
I don't know.
Known for donning a distinct blue and red striped circus costume. Again, Time.com said this is their number 5 right here. This is an animated character from I guess a kid's animated web series. Like I said, some of these may be kids oriented, so there may not be a lot of adults adorning this kind of.
Never heard of her.
Neither have I. I have zero clue. Their next one is Envy. Envy from the Pixar film Inside Out 2. So this is Envy. If you don't know what she looks like,
I just watched this recently. It's amazing.
Was it good?
Yeah, it's
first one was really good. The first one was good.
I still like the first one better, but
this is just a basic short blue wig and blue skin paint and a polka dotted skirt.
Anxiety would be a better character. Maybe she's coming yet to come.
Maybe.
I don't know. We'll see.
Maybe we'll see. So their number 7, Scott. I have to imagine you know who this character is. You must know. I'm sure you've seen this movie. because it is a Disney film, Scott, is the protagonist named Red from Descendants.
Oh, please believe.
Right there.
Please.
That is the character
believe.
right there. Yes. So it's basic.
I've
like,
seen this movie 3 times.
yes, I would imagine this is something
It's
you
so
would know.
good.
You would
It's
know it.
So
100%.
good. Yeah. What's her name?
I do not know. I know nothing. I've not seen this.
The actress who plays her. Oh my God, my daughters are gonna be screaming at me for not remembering that. She was in Gabby Durant and the Unsittables on Disney Channel.
Okay.
I can't think of her name right now, but great movie.
So that is their Time.com's number 7. Number 8 pick. Because it was mentioned, I imagine, at Comic-Con recently, Robert Downey Jr. is supposed to be playing the role because he showed up at Comic-Con dressed in this. Dr. Doom!
Dr. Doom.
And this is my, this is the picture I chose. This is 100% Dr. Doom right here, right? Yeah, right?
Oh, wow.
That's Dr. Doom,
That's
right?
it, right there.
That's 100% Dr. Doom.
Trick or treat.
Yeah, this is what you would see in the
That's
comic books.
Victor Von Doom.
That is the Victor Von Doom. 100% what he looks like. For you,
That's him. That's Robert Downey Jr. right there.
100%. 100%.
Yeah.
That is him right there. Number 9, Scott. Numero Nueve. Yes.
Are we talking Spanish? Is that what we're doing now?
For
our Latino audience?
100%. Yeah, we're all cultures oriented,
Okay.
Scott. Okay, we're all into it. Sabrina Carpenter.
Big fan.
Yes, Sabrina Carpenter.
What a babe.
Pop artist known for her blonde hair and distinct style, including what is showing on the screen and her iconic heart corset, which is the corset that has like a heart-shaped like hole in it, essentially in the middle of her chest.
Adam,
Scott.
I'm going to put you on the spot here.
All right.
Name one Sabrina Carpenter song.
I did not know who Sabrina Carpenter was before making this list. Scott, yes. I think I may have heard the name a few times, but I had no idea who she was.
I'm a huge fan. Huge fan. You've got my favorite is Please, Please, Please. But Espresso, how do you not know Espresso?
I don't.
It's all over the place.
You've got kids. I don't.
She is incredible.
That's the answer to your
I
question.
love her. I love Sabrina Carpenter. That's a great costume.
The last one on Time.com's list is Lady Deadpool. We got her here, Lady Deadpool.
Oh.
Lady Deadpool. Also, so that's a fairly like pretty easy.
That's Blake Lively,
yeah,
right?
Yeah, that's the Blake Lively. This is what the costume would look like, and you know what? It's a fairly good representation. It's pretty awesome. This is what you ladies want to dress up as. That is 100% Lady Deadpool, right? Right?
That's her from the comics, right?
Right?
I don't like that version as much as I like the Blake Lively version.
Yeah, that's
Go back to the Blake Lively.
Scott, that's a joke. That's a joke.
There
right
she
there.
is. There she is.
Yes.
Look at her. What a babe.
Now,
So,
Scott.
Gossip Girl, great. Do you watch Gossip Girl?
No, I did not.
You need to watch Gossip Girl.
I've seen clips. I've not
Trust
watched
me.
it.
You'll thank me later.
The question is, Scott, what was missing from this list? Be honest. That's a 2024 list. That can't be the full 2024. There must be stuff missing. I've got stuff on here.
You've got
that's
some more?
missing. Can you guess what might be missing that I think would absolutely should be on the 2024 list?
Kamala Harris.
No.
No.
Get out of politics. There's no
Chapel
more politics.
Road. Chapel Road.
No.
Okay. Wow. I thought those would be two good costumes. I thought those were both going to be on the list.
There are well, I guess you would say 6 characters, but I guess or 8 characters.
You have some more? Okay, just put them up. Put them up.
I don't have pictures, but
Oh, there's no pictures.
here's the reason why. What's missing is, what about Beetlejuice?
Beetlejuice should be on there.
Beetlejuice, like they had the Skull Man or the shrunken head
Shrunken
man.
Bob Man.
Yeah,
Bob
but they
Head.
didn't have Beetlejuice.
Travis and
They
Bob
had
Head.
Beetlejuice's ex-wife, but not Beetlejuice.
Let me tell you what. I went to an event today. I was telling you about it off air. It was an art show. One of my daughter's art projects was selected for this art show. We
Yeah.
went. It was a kids' art show. The place was at a local school. It was mobbed. There was hundreds of people there.
Yeah.
And the kids, it was Halloween oriented, so you dress in your costumes. My kids put on their Halloween costumes and went. I saw not one, not two, but 3 young boys dressed as Beetlejuice.
Yes.
One of them in particular was amazing. Had the green, crazy big hair and the makeup.
That's got to be
so good.
above his
Yeah.
ex-wife. It's got to be above that. Beetlejuice. Come on. All right. So the next one, we had Lady Deadpool.
We did.
What about Deadpool and Wolverine?
Tired.
The main characters.
It's tired. It's played out. I feel like Deadpool has been a popular costume
But
every Halloween
the
since.
Wolverine yellow costume has never been more popular.
True. I could give you that one.
It's
I
the
could give you
one
that
thing
one.
we have not seen.
I could give you the yellow classic Chris what's his name's the
What?
comic book guy, the comic book artist.
Oh, I don't remember.
The yellow Wolverine.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah, yeah.
yellow
the
Wolverine.
classic yellow Wolverine.
Damn it.
We don't deep
No,
dive
so-
into comics enough. We don't.
But that's a good costume. The Deadpool's tired, it's overplayed.
But
Forget it.
come on. Like Deadpool, Wolverine. You get your dudes dressing up as Wolverine, Deadpool. Come on. Next one. I'm just throwing it out there because it was a movie that came out in pop culture in terms of animation, and it's I feel like it's an easy costume to put together. Garfield. That was a movie. That was a recent movie that came out. That came out recently. Like
Chris Claremont. Sorry.
Chris Claremont. Thank
Chris
you.
Claremont. Had to look it up. It's bothering me.
Garfield, voiced by your hated Chris Pratt.
It's not my hated Chris. It's the least best Chris.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the worst Chris, but still a Chris.
And the last ones, which
Garfield's it's bullshit.
I am
It's bullshit.
shocked that they did not make the list. These two people, shocked, despite the hatred that came out for the movie. Joker and Harley Quinn.
Again, same thing with Deadpool. Harley Quinn has been a popular costume since that flaming turd of the first Suicide Squad
Yeah.
movie came out. However long
But
ago
there's a
that
little bit of a
was.
different design to this Harley Quinn. It's a redesign almost. And you've got the Joker, which people love the Joaquin Phoenix Joker.
I do. I heard part 2 has
Yeah.
is like historically bad.
But it's popular because everybody knows about it. So like people love Lady Gaga. I love Lady Gaga.
Who doesn't?
Joaquin Phoenix's Joker, I do like the Joaquin
first one was
Phoenix Joker.
great.
It was good. So why is that not even on the list? Even last. How are they not on the list?
You and I were out at the bar drinking last night, and we were talking about this. The first Joker movie made $1 billion with a B, $1 billion. It was nominated for Oscars.
Yeah.
The sequel has made less money than Morbius and Madam Web.
I also told you, from what I understand, the original script for the Joker was not made for the Joker. It was just
Which I get.
It was
Yeah.
just a movie about a person who had mental health issues. They couldn't sell it, so they said, "What if it was the Joker?" Then it sold. So that is my understanding of that script.
I'm not going to go to the theater and watch Joker and Harley Quinn.
No,
I'm
I'll wait
not
till it's
gonna
on
go.
streaming.
I'm going to wait till it's on Max,
Yeah.
and I'm going to stream it, and we're going to come on the show, we're going to butcher it.
We'll see. I do like musicals, so we'll see. Scott, let's get into the game.
The game.
I got a game. We're gonna finish
Time
the show
to
with
play
a
the
game.
game. It's like Triple H just walk
So
out
last
music.
week you played a game with me.
Yeah,
I lost.
you did.
Hardcore. It was a
I
musical
think
game.
everyone lost.
Yes, because if you didn't listen to the audio, you missed it.
Yeah.
I want to play a game with you, Scott. It's got no sound to it. It's got nothing to it but me telling you what it is. This is the game of 80s and 90s action movie quotes.
Oh, jeez.
So what I want you to do, Scott, you know the classic, 80s and 90s like hardcore quotes. I'll give you an example. I'm gonna give you a quote. You got to tell me what movie it's from And for bonus points, the year the movie came out.
Oh my God.
That's for bonus
This
points,
is
though.
hard. I guess this is payback for what I thought was going to be an easy game.
You got me with the
I made
last
you look
one.
dumb, and now you're getting me back.
I think you're gonna get that. I think
this is
I think
harder.
this is gonna be easy for you. You're a big movie guy. You're a massive movie guy, especially in the 80s and 90s action flicks. I think you're gonna get. So, like for example, if I said, "I'll be back," what would you say? What movie's that from? What year did it come out?
That's from The Terminator.
Yes. And what year do you think it came out?
This Terminator 2 came out in 1991. So I'm going to say 1987 for the first movie.
84.
That old.
That old, yes. But that's okay. That was bonus points. But
That
you got the
old.
main points.
The
Keep track of
Terminator,
your
yeah.
points, sir, because I'm not going to do it. I'm going to ask
There was
you.
that many years in between 1 and 2?
It was, apparently, yeah. I looked it up, yeah.
I knew Terminator 2 was 91. Am I right with that?
I didn't look that
It's
up.
got to be 91.
It's
I'm sure
got to
of
be.
it.
It's got to
Sure of
be.
it.
All right, so let's start the quiz. There are 10 quotes.
Oof.
I'm going to give them to you. Again, the main point is to
Okay.
guess the movie. The bonus points
Okay.
are the year.
I'm going to take a shot at the bonus every time. So
Number 1, I Am the Law.
That's Judge Dredd.
I gave you a softball, but what year did it come out?
1995.
Yes.
Oh, baby.
Yeah.
Oh, baby. Who owns the entire collection of Judge Dredd action figures? Raise your hand.
Not I, said I. Good job.
I do.
Good job,
I don't
sir.
have them all. I'm missing the Spartan action. Sorry. The John
All right.
Spartan action.
That was a softball. Here comes number 2. Go ahead. Make my day.
That is from The Good, the Bad, the Ugly.
That was from Sudden Impact, a
Sudden
Dirty Harry
Impact.
movie.
Oh, come on. I had the wrong Clint Eastwood.
Yes.
I knew it was Clint
But what
Eastwood. that
year
said
do
it.
you think it came out in? Do you remember?
87. It was shot in the dark.
83.
83.
83.
Okay.
So keep
I don't think I
track.
ever saw
Keep
that
track.
one.
You got the first
I got
2
one.
right. First 2 right.
I got one in a bonus. Okay.
One in a bonus.
Without
Number 3.
hesitation.
Dead or Alive. You're coming with me.
That's RoboCop.
But what year did it come out?
'92. Yeah.
Way under. 87. Or way over, sorry. 87.
That's not way over. That's ballpark.
All right. Next one.
Okay.
It's not the years, honey. It's the mileage.
Oh my God, what is this?
If you don't get this, I'm going to be so fucking
Oh, you're making it worse.
disappointed. It's not the years, honey. It's the mileage. You know this.
I know this.
Survey says
True Lies. What is it?
Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Oh, fuck.
What year did it come out?
My favorite movie of all time.
Yeah, I would hope you
My
would
favorite
know.
movie of all time. 82. 83.
81. It was 1981.
Damn.
All right. That's okay. That's
Mad at
okay.
myself. I've only got one so far. Well,
You got one and you got one in a bonus, and then you got RoboCop. I'm keeping track.
oh, okay. I got
because
three.
you're not,
Okay.
so I'm keeping track.
Yeah, I'm not.
So number 5.
We're only halfway through. Shit.
I'll give you a war you won't believe.
Oh, Jesus.
I'll give you a war you won't
You're
believe.
saying it like the character. Waterworld.
So far off. First Blood.
Oh, First Blood.
When did First Blood come out?
81. Jeez.
No,
84.
82.
84. Now, I'm close.
You're very close.
Close.
Very close. All right. Number 6, sir. Number 6. Get off my plane.
Oh, my gosh. That is Harrison Ford says that it. Yes. Air Force One? Yes. Yes.
Now, when did it come out?
96. Oh, damn. 97?
Yes. 97. 97.
I'm so close.
Very
I'm
close.
so
You're very
close.
close on the years for most of them.
Shit.
You're very close. All right. This one's going to be hard, I think. It's going to be hard. Consider that a divorce. Remember, we're talking
Total
about
Recall. Yes. Did I get it? Yes.
that was Schwarzenegger.
Yes.
Total Recall. Yes, I was worried about that
Fuck.
one. Yeah.
Yes.
What year did Total Recall come out?
88.
That was 90.
I'm in the ballpark.
You're very much
I'm
in the ballpark. All right.
Okay.
This one I don't know about. I hope. You're a disease, and I'm the cure.
You're saying it like Stallone, so it has to be Stallone.
I'm happy you got that. I'm
Okay,
happy my impression
okay.
worked.
You're a disease.
And I'm the cure.
I'm the cure. Okay. Oh, that's funny.
I don't know if you're gonna get this one. It's heyday of the action flicks.
You're
a disease. I'm the cure.
okay. You're doing a great Stallone. I would, if you didn't say it that way, I wouldn't know that it's Stallone.
I did it because I think it's gonna be a little difficult for you. This is gonna be a difficult one.
Demolition Man. No.
Cobra.
Never saw it.
Okay. Do you know what
That's
year it came
probably
out?
the first one that I haven't seen on there.
Fair enough. You know what year it came out?
I don't even know the movie. 1990. As a guess. It was
86.
It was
86.
Stab in the Dark.
That might be the hardest one on this list. That
Okay.
might be the most difficult one.
Did you ever see it?
No.
Then why'd you put it on the list?
Because I looked up the list of all the greatest, most popular 80s and 90s
I don't know
action
that
films.
one.
And that's one I didn't know. All right.
What are we on? This is fun.
This is number 9.
Oh, I got 2 more.
Number 9. You're a funny guy, Sully. I like you. That's why I'm going to kill you last.
You're a funny guy, Sully.
You're a funny guy, Sully. I like you. That's why I'm going to kill you last. I don't know if that's that's a terrible, that's not as good as my
Are you
slot.
supposed to be Steve Buscemi?
No.
I don't know who you're supposed to be there. Sully.
You're a great guy, Sully. I like you. That's why I'm going to kill you last.
Die Hard?
That's better. No.
No. Okay, you can enough with the button. Enough with the button. I
It
don't
was
know that.
Commando.
Oh, Commando. Okay.
Schwarzenegger.
That was supposed to be your Schwarzenegger?
Again, I can't. I gotta work.
Okay.
I tried. What year did it come out though?
Stick with your Stallone.
Yes.
90. No, 80. I didn't even say it
You
yet.
said 90.
I
You
was
did say
thinking
90. Sorry. Go ahead. I'll give you another chance. You know now it's in the 80s.
I know it's in the 80s, yeah. I was thinking 90 something. I'm like, no, Commando might be older than that. 87. No.
85. Last one, sir.
Okay.
Last
I hope it's a good
one.
one.
I don't make things complicated. That's the way they get all by themselves.
Wow, I don't know that at all. I don't make things complicated. That's why they get all about you. Didn't do a voice. Thinking.
Yes.
Thinking.
I'll give you a hint. think of the similar genre of like the Dirty Harry kind of movies. No sci-fi, nothing like that. And I'll give you this one. It's in the 80s. It's in the 80s
Okay.
of like the Dirty
I
Harry
almost said
kind
The
of
Rock.
movies.
So it's not The Rock.
It's in like the Dirty Harry style of that kind of like stuff. Like think of that genre type. You will know this movie 100%. Starring a douchebag.
That doesn't narrow it down. It's the
Fair
80s.
enough. Fair enough.
Sudden Death with Jean-Claude Van Damme. That's the 90s. I don't know this one.
It's a Lethal Weapon quote.
Which one?
Lethal Weapon.
The first one.
Yes. He said it's a Murtaugh.
I can't picture that one. I can't think of that one.
You watched Lethal Weapon, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gibson says it?
Yeah, he says it's a Murtaugh.
I mean, he's a
pretty well known.
douchebag, but there's worse douchebags.
When did Lethal Weapon come out?
86. Nope.
So close. 87.
God, I was so close on a lot of those years.
So close. All right, so let's go through
I
this. So
sucked. I blew
so
it.
you had 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, it was 4.
I got 4.
4. Sorry.
That's a 40%. That's failing.
Even with the bonus points, it's a 4.
Yeah.
100%.
That
Did
was
you
harder than you thought.
Did you get Judge Dredd year right? I forgot to put that in. Did you get that year right? What was the year for Judge Dredd?
95, wasn't it?
Okay, yeah. So you got that right. So you 50%.
50%.
You got half right. Half right with bonus points. You broke the curve. You're good there. Good there, sir. So you got
That was fun.
you did better than I did on the music stuff.
It was
so.
hard, but it was
There
fun.
were a few hard ones. Yes, I tried. I was worried. So like I was trying to do two things. I was trying to not double down on the same movie because there's a lot of movies like Rambo has a lot of good quotes. Commando has a lot of good quotes. There's a lot. Terminator obviously
I gotta
has
be
the
honest,
obvious quotes.
I'm so mad at myself for missing Raiders.
That's the one.
I
That's the
missed
one. I was like,
Raiders.
I gotta give him a softball at 3 or 4.
I missed
I was
Raiders.
that. I
You
was.
know
I
what?
assumed
I'm so mad at myself.
that was going to be the one. You're
Raiders
like, oh,
of the
that's obviously Indiana Jones.
Raiders of the Lost Ark is my favorite film of all time. I don't know why I wasn't even like thinking that was in.
I feel like
I was thinking
you.
too
I
meta.
feel like
I was,
you have said that line to me
Have.
before as
Have.
like a joke. So I was like, he's going to get this 100%. That was my softball.
You know what? I've never been this disappointed since I was playing Trivial Pursuit with my family down in Florida one time. It was a rainy day, so we played Trivial Pursuit, and it was the pop culture Trivial Pursuit on top of it. And I ended up winning the game, so it's fine. But one of the questions was, what was the I forget how the question was worded. How much power did they need to power the flux capacitor in Back to the Future?
1.21 gigawatts.
It's easy, 1.22 gigawatts. And they were like, wrong. I was like, oh my God, it's 21, isn't it?
Yeah,
I was
1.21
I was
gigawatts.
so mad at myself.
I just
I
said it
have
right
not-
now. That was my.
I
thing.
have not been that. I said 1.22 gigawatts like it was a
You said it like an
fucking thing.
arrogant fuck.
I
too.
did
Like,
too. I
throw it
did.
away. I
was
got
like,
it.
oh
Don't
my
worry
God.
about it.
Like I was one off, just like I was with the years in this game. Like I was such.
You're very close on the number, sir. Very close.
You should have
Scott.
given me a yeah.
You got to come up with a quiz next week. We can do this as a regular thing.
Quit.
Make it a regular thing.
Challenge accepted.
Challenge
accepted, my
given,
brother.
challenge accepted. Scott,
Adam.
how can the people get a hold of Full
Damn
Distraction?
it!
Yes. You know why I did that, Scott?
I was gonna get you.
Why
That's
why did I do that?
Because you're got to take a piss.
There you go.
All right. Well, if you need to get a hold of us here at For Your Distraction, you can shoot us an email, foryourdistraction@gmail.com. If you want to listen to our show, there's lots of great ways you can listen to us. We are on Facebook. Search for Your Distraction on Facebook. Find our page on there. Give us a like. We go live anytime we record on Facebook Live, so you can watch us raw and unedited and uncut, just the way it was meant to be heard and listened to and watched. You can listen to us anywhere you get your podcasts. Like Adam said earlier in the show, this will be our last episode that is uploaded to SoundCloud. SoundCloud has been good to us. They've been a good home. We appreciate everything they've done for us over these past, 8 years since we've been doing this?
About
Oh,
as
he's
long
back.
as Trump's politics has been going on, basically. We can.
I hate that that's our litmus
we can
test.
tie our length of time doing the podcast to Trump's political career.
We
Basically,
started the show in 2016, right? Or 2015, right?
No, 2016.
2016?
Summer of 2016.
When he
Summer.
announced.
Yeah.
Summer, okay.
It
He
was
came down.
summertime.
He came down the golden escalator at the moment Adam was pushing record.
Yeah, that's what happened. We talked. The first movie we talked about, Jurassic World. That was the first movie we talked about.
Good movie.
Yeah, we talked about it then. That was
Gone
back-
downhill since then.
Yeah,
There's a new one coming out.
yeah. It's gonna suck.
It might be good.
It's gonna shit the bed.
Scarlett Johansson's in it. Did you know that?
She's gonna be hot, but it's gonna suck.
I like her.
Look, what's her name was hot in the Jurassic World movies.
Ew.
What's her name? The I don't remember the actress name. Chris Pratt's love interest.
Oh, you and your redheads.
I like a good redhead.
Whatever, dude. Arnold. No. Opie Taylor, Richie Cunningham, his daughter.
Yeah.
Ron Howard.
Yeah.
Bryce Dallas Howard. I
Yeah,
just think
there
we're
you
allowed.
go.
I,
Man.
I just. You see how I got
You
there?
6 degrees of Kevin
You see how I
Bacon your
got
way
there?
down there. Yeah.
I went, oh, Opie Taylor, who was also Richie Cunningham, who was Ron Howard, his daughter, who was Bryce Dallas Howard. That's how I got there. I went from Mayberry to Happy Days to Jurassic World. I got there.
You used to be a king at that game. You were a king at that game.
I'm out of practice. I actually played it recently, and
I wish I were better at it because we played on the show. But
Yeah.
like, I'm not
see, here's the problem.
I'm not any good at
I
it.
can still connect it, but I can't. How the game works is you have to connect it in fewer,
Yes.
and I can get there, but people beat me in fewer connections. So, anyway, we're talking about 6 Degrees of Kevin Bacon. Great
Yeah.
game, fun game. It's very
There was a
niche
time
game. Yeah.
when we worked together at the skating rink where I would just yell out 2 actors while we're cleaning up at the end of the night. I'd be like, "Hey, Scott,
you would.
this actor, go!" And you would just fucking rattle it off. You're like, "All right, we're doing this and this and this and this." It was great. That was a great time. You were better back then. What happened?
I don't,
It's time for you to come out of your retirement, dude. Time for you to come.
times have changed.
Did
I
you,
don't watch
uh,
as many movies as I used to.
Did you mention Electronic Media Collective?
I haven't. You,
Okay.
You came out of the bathroom before I was done with the whole. How can they
What
get
are you
a hold
doing?
of
What
us?
am I paying you for, sir?
We are also a member of the Electronic Media Collective. Head on over to the electronicmediacollective.com. It's a great podcast network we are a part of.
Yes.
You can check out our show there, and there's umpteen other great shows there. Hey,
We're front page though.
you send them the what's it called?
The
S-
RSS. feed.
RSS feed. You send it from SoundCloud, but now you're going to send it from Podbean.
I don't. I send it from so.
This won't change anything.
The reason why it works, not to get into technical details, but the reason why
sorry
it
I
works.
asked.
The,
It was supposed to be a yeah, it'll be fine, or no, or
yeah,
fine.
it'll be fine. It'll be fine. It'll
No,
be
you
fine.
can go ahead. Go ahead.
No, the reason why
You're
it works.
vamping. I'll let you
The
go.
reason why it works is because SoundCloud is like the root, and then it goes into one other feed, which then branches off to everything else. I only have to change the root, essentially. This one ball in my hand, essentially.
One
Fondling the
ball.
balls.
One ball.
I got to change the one
one ball to rule them all.
So yes, to remind everybody who's listening to this episode, SoundCloud's going the way of the dodo. Shit's going extinct. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, shit got too expensive. But we've migrated to Podbean, which is an application that is made for podcasters, not just any audio content. It's a podcasting specific thing. So we're hopefully going to thrive. We're going to get better. We're going to, shoot ourselves off to the stars.
To the moon.
As soon as Shapiro gets on the show that you're going to, organize at some point really soon, Scott. Yeah,
We could just AI him. That's on you. Just AI Josh. Have him sit right here with our green screen. We got a green couch with a green wall. You're supposed to give us a cool background.
Dude, life comes at you hard, dude.
I know, but that's gonna happen.
It's coming.
We could have like Mordor behind us.
2026 is coming, dude.
It is.
It's coming. We made a lot of big changes the past couple months. We got even more changes coming happen in the future,
So we did mention Inside Out 2. We mentioned Descendants 4, Rise of Red.
Yes.
Beetlejuice. Get prepared. Start working on it now. The end of the year show, we always do our top 10 because I'm the Listler here.
Yes.
The top 10 favorite and least favorite films that came out that year that we saw.
I've watched some movies.
You
I
have.
Yes.
You're doing good. You're doing well this year.
I'm gonna have to ramp it up a little bit though. So, but I will get there. I get there at the end of the year. I don't always come, but I come eventually.
When he does come, he comes hard.
There it is.
And cue the music. I was waiting for you to cue the music. We had some dead air. It is what it is.
But you ain't got no legs, Lieutenant Dane.